you know. And this is the whole yoga teaching. It's not about transforming somebody else. You know, so many times I've been to talks and people go, you know, after the talk, really? It's not for me. My wife should have been here, or my husband should have been here, or my mother should have been here, or my brother should have been, or my child should have been here. I said, isn't it interesting? None of them are here. You are. I guess you were meant to be here. And that's the fact. You're meant to be here. It's not anybody else. Because, you know, really your spirit is telling you that it's tired of you being unhappy. It's tired of you grabbing onto material things to make you happy. Your spirit is telling you there's a way out. But so long as you are thinking in your brain, it's somebody else who has to make the way out, you will never change and you will never be happy. Because nobody can change that person unless they want to. Just like nobody can change you unless you wanted them to. It's really quite interesting, that. So stop thinking, and he's so right, and that is peace. That will give you your peace. It will give you your peace. When you stop saying, oh really, you need to learn this one, or you need to learn this, or you have to do this to get healthy, or you have to follow this. You see, you know why you're so sick? Because you don't follow these rules. And the moment you're doing you, look at you. What's happening to you? What's happening to you? You're getting angrier and angrier, and all in the name of, I'm practicing yoga, so I'm teaching you good things to do. My God, if a teacher taught me like that, I'd walk a mile. I'd walk a mile, wouldn't you? How can anybody learn like that? You can learn with love. You can learn with kindness. But you can only feel that extreme love or unconditional love and kindness if you have it in you. And in order to have that in you, you really have to forgive everything in your life. You really, any harm that's been caused to you, any pain, any suffering, you have to say, goodbye, I don't need you anymore. You really have to do that. You're never going to be free otherwise. And then it's the patience. It's the patience in yourself. The love enough for you to be patient in you, to forgive yourself of all the anger you faced. You don't deserve it. And this takes time. This really takes time. I feel very sad when people promise over one workshop, they're going, your life is going to change. It just doesn't work like that. You know, yes, you'll get something ringing in your head. They'll say, this sounds true, like you heard him now. You know it to be true. You can feel that is the truth. And then it's getting all the stuff out, all the past, yeah. Vomiting. When you do the spiritual purge, or you want to be happy, you have to take all the junk out of you first. It's just like, you know, when you have food poisoning, we have spirit poisoning. And when the spirit is poisoned by anger and pain and jealousy and lust and maliciousness, you have to vomit all that out first. And then once it's all out, then you have to forgive it. And during that process, it is a process, so you must be very, very, very patient with you. And you know how you can be patient with you is when you accept that you deserve the best. You really do. And you know, I love it when my master said to us, your birthright is to be happy. Yeah, I'm so glad you know that. That is your birthright. That is your birthright. And you know, while you're on earth, it's the only place you can do it because we live in duality here. Thank you, Shanti. We live in duality here. So you're going to have good and bad. It's always going to be good and bad. It's just like a coin. You have to have heads and tails. Otherwise there's no coin, you know. You need two hands to clap. We live in a world of duality. You're never going to run away from that. So there's two things you can do. Look at it, accept it, and step out of it once in a while when it gets too much. And yoga teaches you how to do that through the process of meditation, through the process of contemplation, through the process of looking at your life, what we call jnana yoga, watching your life. You know, is this really worth it? who am I really? At the end of the day, you know, all this anguish, all this pain, for what? What does it lead me? Does it make my life better? No. Do I want to live like this? What's the point of being alive? I might as well be dead. But the problem is you are alive. And if you kill yourself, oh my God, you're in trouble. You know why? Because we all come, this is one of the great universal laws. Thou shalt not kill. Yourself too included in it. And my master explained this very beautifully one day to me, because I asked him about suicide many, many years ago. I said, you know, so many people come to me and they're suicidal. When they go through a very bad time, people do become suicidal. And he said, Nalanie, you tell them, when they have a body, you have a body, right, that moves, where is the problem? On earth, right? The problem is here on earth. With somebody here on earth that's hurt you so much. It's normally with somebody who's hurt you so much, right? While you're on earth, there is a solution. Now you kill yourself. Your mind is so disturbed. So disturbed. So the problem is there. That's on your mind. That's on your mind. So the body is gone now. So your soul will be lost. This is what the Catholics call purgatory or limbo. It'll be lost because it's still stuck to that problem on earth. But now you don't have a body to fix it. And what will happen? It will just roam around, till one day somebody prays for that soul a lot, and then finally get the message, I'm dead. I'm really dead. I really can't fix this. This problem is no longer necessary in my life, and that can take like thousands and thousands of years. So you tell them that. So, you know, when people come to me and they say they want to commit suicide, I said, really? You think you've got a problem now? Watch it. You'll have it for a lot longer. At least Earth is a short time, you know. And then it stops them. It really stops them. I don't know how many suicides have stopped over the years with this one story that my master told me. And I said, wouldn't you like to fix your problem? Yeah, but there's no way to fix it. There's always a way to fix something when you're alive. While you're alive, you can fix things. Sometimes fixing is walking away. And sometimes fixing is going towards. Sometimes to fix something, you really have to just leave it behind and say, goodbye. You're my past. Go. Other times you have to go to that problem and fix it personally. But you can do it. Always a solution. And you heard him say, when can you find a solution? Only when your mind is balanced. So I always tell people, please do not make big decisions when your mind is not balanced. When you're not balanced, please keep quiet, because you may say something you will regret. And then once said, as the great Indian saint Tariqural told us, once you say the words, you cannot bring them back. You've said it. It's too late. It's etched in somebody's mind. You know, really this is so true, because over the years I've dealt with so many broken relationships, etc. Thousands must be by now. And, you know, even when things are better in the relationship, the partner will say, you know, but he or she said it to me. They swore at me like this. And I said, how long ago? 3 years ago. Sometimes 20 years ago. And they still have it there. Does the person do it today? No longer. But you're still carrying it as if it's happening today. Don't carry it. Don't carry it. Who's carrying it? Remember, who's carrying it? And while you are carrying it, can you live well? You happy? Are you at peace? Are you content? So you don't have a choice. I will say to people, you don't have a choice. Really make it easy for yourself. Make it so easy for yourself. Say, I don't have a choice. I can choose a downward spiral or an upward spiral. Of course, I don't want a downward spiral. Obvious, right? But to work, you know, it's always easier to go downhill than it is to go uphill. And once you're down and you fall in that hole, it's very difficult to get up. But you walk, you may fall back a few steps, but you can continue. You keep building up your strength, until you get to the top. You don't give up on you. Too many people give up on themselves too quickly. Give yourself time, alright? So it doesn't happen overnight. You know, even the greatest of kings and the greatest of people took years. They used to go to these guru columns for like 12 years at a time. Amilu, darling, do you mind being still? Thank you. Amilu, do you mind closing this door and keeping really quiet, keeping your voice? Thank you very much for respecting us. She even closed it softly, did you see? She's a good girl. Children, it's normal. It's normal. They need to move. They can't sit so long. So, so this is the truth, and this is walk. Don't be afraid to climb up the hill. It's more scary to fall down the hole. Every time you're in dilemma and you go, it's too hard, it's too hard, say, okay, that's even worse. That's even worse. Falling down that hole means I need people to pull me up, means I need this, I need that, but at least walking up, I can do this myself. And give yourself time. That's the secret of life. You will always, it just doesn't mean, you know, many people think that you study spirituality and all your problems will go away. Sri Patanjali actually tells us pain that is yet to come is avoidable. Why? Because if you have this science, and pain comes to all of us in life, but if you have the science and you study the science, then when the pain comes, one, you are not sowing new seeds, cause and effect seeds, right? Somebody hurts you, you hurt them back. What is it? A vicious circle, right? Cause and effect. Somebody swears at you, you swear back. Cause and effect. You stop that process. One, you stop that process. So less things will be coming back to you, right? And two, because you understand that pain is part of life just as joy is, when it comes, you won't even be frightened of it anymore because you've understood. Pain is part of life, so is joy. So sometimes we have pain and sometimes we have joy. The problem is, when we have joy, we know how to deal with it. We have pain, we're not taught how to deal with it. And less every day, because children are not taught to understand this concept anymore. They're spoiled, do what you like, you know. Parents can't be bothered to discipline them. So pain hits them more. And they can't understand it, they can't cope today. And I tell parents, what are you doing spoiling your children like this? Discipline them. They will suffer if you don't. Because they grow up and now life is not easy. There's no mom and dad to give you everything that you want anymore. How are they going to cope? They're not going to cope. Most important thing is discipline children, then they find life easier. So, and this is it in our life, you know, this generation that we are in. We're given everything we need. Really, in the West, we are so lucky. There's very little poverty compared to the third world countries and to the East. Very little compared. You know, some of the countries, 90% of the people I see don't have anything. 90% don't have anything. Here, we're very, very blessed. So, but the more we're given, the less strength we have. Because we got used to it. We got so used to everything being so easy that it's a little uneasy and we can't deal with it. So now, this is why spirituality is coming to people like us who really need to build up this strength again. There's this human strength that is, you know, invincible. Your spirit is invincible. You can do anything if you have complete faith. It is that powerful. We become too soft. We need to build up these spiritual muscles. Stop being so soft. And even on ourselves, when we go feeling sorry for ourselves, say, stop it. Enough. I have everything to make me content. You know, today's talk is contentment. And really, 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 if you look at your life, okay, you may have this problem here and that problem here, but really you have everything you need to make you content. I always say, if you have a bed, one plate of food a day, house to sleep in, and one person to love you, boy, are you lucky. And I think everybody in this room can say that. Everybody can say that. You know, we go to Tanzania and we see the street children, they don't have anybody. They really have nobody to say that to them. They're children whose parents, I met so many children whose parents die of malaria, AIDS. Half of them are carriers without even knowing. Half of them are carriers. And they've been raped, the girls, on a daily level, and now even the boys are being raped all the time. They really have nothing. You know, so when you feel lost, this is why I always like people to come to these poor places at least once in their life. Because you will never. I used to tell my husband that when he used to complain about business being bad, you know, in Gibraltar, when we had shop, we said, oh, today's a bad day. I said, please just come one trip with me, just one. Not to the 5-star hotels and the holidays that you're used to in all these places, but come with me where the poor live, where the villages are, just for one time. Come to me to those government hospitals where the sheets are filthy. You will never, ever complain again. He didn't come. I wish he had. Because really, it just wakes you up. You get a shock. And that shock is a reality in the mind because it's so powerful. It's so powerful that you wake up. You have to wake up. So, but really, contentment, and Sri Patanjali tells us in book 2 about contentment, he tells us that by the practice of contentment, what happens? Supreme joy is gained. Good, you see, they know it well. And I don't know if you saw the photograph that Lakshmi posted on the website from our Portugal trip. Everybody at the end of it was, after the 6-day intensive, was content. And you can see it in the photo. If you look at all the faces, everybody is smiling. Huh? Did you see the photograph today? I just saw it, yeah. And it is like that. Everybody, the first 3 days, purging, and then after the 4th, it'll change after 3 days. 4th day, everybody lighten up. And by the 6th day, everybody is light as a feather. Because what is there to carry? Because this is why the spiritual science is so important. We have people to help us with our body. We have even people to help us with our mind. But the mind is not good enough. Sri Patanjali tells you, you have to keep that mind still in order to understand who you are. And when you understand who you are, you will experience great peace. Peace of the spirit. But very few people talk about how to get to your spirit. And we're all 3 in 1. And I have seen in my life that the only time people can heal is when they use spiritual science. Psychological mind science can heal you temporarily. But those awful things like anger stays stuck in you, those awful things of things that have been done to you, abuse in your life, stay stuck. Deep in the psyche, they stay stuck. Any abuse stays stuck for a long time. It's one of the hardest to go through, mental and physical abuse. I see many people suffer so much from it. And it takes a long time to just get it out, and a lot of tears. But once it's out, you're free. And then the next step is forgiveness. You have to forgive. Sorry. It's the only truth I know. You've got to forgive. And like I said, forgiveness means sometimes just walking away. Just not being in that person's energy field or the situation. Just walking away. Until you get strong and strong. Then you build yourself up. And other times forgiveness is being in that energy field and saying, I forgive you, I forgive you. Well, you had some things, strong things in the past that you've just forgiven. That's why you're able to do your work today. Steve, you told us a story about your past. Hard. It was hard. Can I say? You said it at TT, can I say?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, your mother used to leave you outside the house without food, in the rain, freezing, and then swear at him when she got home. You tell Noah.
Rather not.
Yeah. And he's happy. He's helping a lot of people now. But the pain will always be there, you see? And in time, that will go. That will go. Yeah, the more he's serving, you know, you lost a daughter, you found out what you say.
Yeah, it will go.
Yeah, you saw your daughter floating in a swimming pool, dead. I mean, how many people go through something like that? Imagine your only daughter, dead, floating in the pool.
And I only found the peace after you did the blessing.
I'm so pleased you found
Some,
your peace.
yes.
Good.
It was incredible. For all of us, for the whole family.
And for us too, it was incredible to watch your grandchildren.
Incredible.
Yeah, to say to their mom how much they appreciated her in their life. So you can forgive, you can let go, even something so terrible. And continue to live as an example. She helps old people with problems who are alone. And she herself has a multitude of problems at the moment. And she still helps others. And this takes you away from you, you know. I think, and I think we really need to now focus and tell ourselves constantly how blessed we are. Really, this is today's talk, to be content, to live in contentment. Do I have any questions today? Nothing.
No, has anyone got any
We didn't
questions?
collect
Oh, we never collected them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I came late because I had my dog, that was awesome.
How's your dog, by the
It's
way?
okay, because somebody's got a long list of things.
Like the rest of us.
He's getting old, listen. What's your right?
Yeah, he's getting old. So would you, anybody like to ask any question and I'll answer it, or would you prefer I just carry on talking about contentment?
I would like you to talk about the thing you said in last time. I don't think everybody was here. When you have a problem, I think you're given an exact ideal solution. You said that you think like an aeroplane. It goes through the clouds and then it comes to the blue sky and you see the problems like a cloud underneath and you focus differently. You take yourself away from it. And that's really stuck in my mind because within the last 2 days, particularly today, I've been bombarded with absolutely everything. And I just took that plane and I went through the cloud and I started looking down and I really, really focused on what you said. And it just works.
It works. This is
It just works because then your mind gets clear and you think, I'm in that blue one now. The grey cloud is underneath me.
Yes. Well, this is the practice, and you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a contentment that comes with it as well, because then you realize what you're saying, that I have everything. I even got a new dog, so I've asked for the new dog, and as you always say that don't pray too hard because you wait giving it. And I was asking for the new dog, and it came just like that, and I said, oh my God, I have to be careful what I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's so
It is life. It is life. When you follow this spiritual path of contentment, when you follow it, when you really get up every morning, even though your world is falling apart, especially when your world is falling apart, and you tell yourself, my mind is in a dark place. You tell yourself. You step out of yourself. My mind is in a dark place, but I am okay. I am okay. Because I'm not my mind. Are you your mind? Your mind is stuck to the problem that you have. Are you your problem? You're not your problem. You are separate from the mind. You are separate from the problem. But you make the problem you, or you make the mind you. You can, like I said, you have a choice. You can say, I'm going to spend the whole day indulging in my sadness, or I'm going to spend the whole day, because I can't handle it today, distracting myself until I can handle it. So let me distract myself. How do you distract yourself? It's like a child, right? You know, the child is very naughty. Or, for example, when they're playing and a child reaches a knife and holds it, you're distracted by bringing another toy that's much nicer for it. And they'll drop the knife to take the other toy. Even dogs do that, right? My dog likes the teddy bear dog much better than the soft toy. So when the other soft toy I have, So when she's naughty, I bring the teddy bear out and she'll go for that and forget it. You know, and human beings are like that too. We need to distract ourselves. So when you get up in the morning and you know you're feeling low, immediately, and you want to be content, because when you're like that, you can't. Even though you want to, the mind is racing. Ba-ba, and how am I going to do this? And then, no, I need to be content. Da-da-da-da, it keeps chatting. It doesn't allow you. What do? I always say, first thing, go into a bath or a shower. Water. Water heals. Don't sit in your bed and say, I really don't feel like getting up. That's the worst thing you can do. That's downward spiral. Immediately. Water. Get up. Take a shower. Say, I'm going to call a friend, a good friend that lifts you. Please don't call a friend that agrees with poor you. Because you already have enough of poor you. You don't need more. Okay? So a friend that will uplift you. Call them. Go for a coffee. Go for a tea. Do whatever you like. And if you don't feel like being with anyone, go for a run. Go for a walk. Go to a yoga class. A physical yoga class. Go and do some work. You know, for me, in the early days of my practice, I just cleaned little small crystals. I used to have a whole collection. I just said, okay, my mind is going crazy, you know, can't deal with this anymore. Let me, because every time after I clean and you see things look so pretty, you feel so happy and sparkly. So I like sparkling, you know, I like clean. It's like, oh, I've been meaning to do this cupboard full of crystal glasses for a long time. I'm going to do it. Sit for hours, see everything. By the end of 3 hours, it's done. And it's almost like you haven't hurt the world. You've benefited the crystal glasses. They look beautiful. And most of all, you haven't said anything that's upsetting you, or you haven't done anything drastic. Because at that moment, you can do something so crazy, or say something so crazy, or make a mistake that you'll regret, especially when you're feeling like that. So do something to distract. And then when you are stronger again, and during this time, Sri Patanjali tells us Swadhyaya. What does Swadhyaya mean? Study of spiritual books. So you take lots of, we have little booklets, get yourself positive thinking booklets, little things, little sayings, you put it in your bag, put it in your pocket. I used to put all these kind of prayers in every single pocket, my bedroom, my walls, everywhere was flooded with positive thinking. So I had no choice. Every time I had a negative thought, I had to see a positive. I gave myself no choice of going downwards. Because when I started yoga, I was in a downward spiral. And it just took me right up. I refused to go down again. I just refused to. Once I found this science, I said, I refuse to. Of course, life will bring you pain. And since then, we lost all our business, we lost nearly all our money, we lost so many things in our life. And then the biggest shock was losing my husband suddenly. But then you realize, you know what? It's all part of life. It's all part of life. But I could maintain myself being content. Maybe I wasn't happy all the time, but I could maintain the contentment and not blame anyone. Do you see? And this is an incredible power that we've all been given. Incredible power that our most painful times, you can be content. I think that is, for me, the greatest gift that I could have received from the divine gods, And then I realized if I can do it, every single person can do it. It's just that I was determined. I made a decision. I want peace. Make peace my God. So you just have to keep repeating that all the time, all the time, all the time. At your worst moments, make peace your God. Make peace your God. Make peace your God. And like our Gurudev said, don't even allow God to disturb your peace. And make that your God. And then you do everything. And then when you sit back and that bad moment that's up here is gone down, you're a different person. You've all gone through this. How did I feel so bad? And laugh at yourself. Secret that you know you are progressing spiritually when you can laugh at yourself. When you make a mistake and laugh. And say, how dumb. I did it again. Don't take yourself so seriously. It's like taking that airplane. Human being, what can I do? I made a mistake again. How dumb. And laugh. Admit when you're wrong. It's fabulous feeling. It's a freedom. Sorry, I was wrong. No big deal. Nobody really cares. It's only you and your mind that cares so much. You and your mind that has judged you. There's no God judging you. God is of love. The Upanishads scream this out. Oh, the Lord of love. He loves you so much. Where is the Lord of love? Inside, outside, to the north, to the west, in your hearing, in your voice. Who makes your heart beat but the Lord of love? And that's what it talks about. That's what the Upanishads is. These are the oldest scriptures. The man loves the man. The man loves the woman not because of the woman, but because of the self that lives in the woman. The woman loves her husband not because of her husband, but because of the self that lives in her husband. Parents love their children not because of their children, but because of the self they witness in their children. Which is that self, the one that all the great scriptures talk about. We're all one, and we just got separated. So when you can start to see that slowly, slowly, and the only way you can see that is through the instrument of love. You cannot see it through any other instrument. So isn't it clever? There's your clue. Whenever you are not in this feeling of love, you cannot be content. So find yourself every day something to fall in love with. Start off by looking at the sky today. Oh, how nice to see the rain. Wasn't it, Sarah? We looked out of my office and it's quite nice. It's so nice. You feel so content. We've had so many days without rain. It's actually quite beautiful. Look at the simple things. That's how you start. Don't go looking for contentment. That's my dog, sorry. She's not content. Maybe next year when she's more grown up, she can sit with us. But at the moment, she can't sit still. Look, people think they can find contentment in fancy things. I tell you, contentment is in the simplest things you do. I had a student who was, for 7 years, I was working with him, and he was on antidepressants for a long time, and they didn't help him. We found out that he was allergic to it. In fact, he was my biggest teacher. I said, I want to find out what you're taking. I'm no longer interested. I have no time for these things. So he used to do all the research on antidepressants for me. He'd show me all the labels. Take the antidepressant. Do you know what it says? Side effects could be suicide, loss of reader. I didn't believe it. And I go, why are you taking it then? But the doctor said it's good for me. But I said, look, you yourself have brought me this piece of paper. Lack of energy, impotence, all side effects maybe. All those things, schizophrenia. I go, oh my goodness. And still because the doctor said. And I said, I'm telling you to slowly wean yourself. After 7 years you can't cut. Even after 1 year you can't cut. You have to wean yourself slowly, slowly, slowly. So we had another 7 years that he took to wean himself off. And during those 7 years he sold his business because he couldn't work in it anymore. Thank God, he got good money for it. He's smart, took the break to get strong. But during that time his wife left him, another business partner cheated on him, and I go, just let it go. Just let it go. Now at least you have enough money to live on, so just get yourself well. Anyway, he said, I don't know, Nalanie, how to get content. I'm working on myself. I just can't seem to get past it. So what do you like to do? He said, I don't know. So anyway, the next week he came and said, I love cakes. Really? Do you bake? Never. Try it. Try it. Do you know he bakes the best cakes in the world now? Not only that, he now runs a restaurant and he sells his cakes all over Gibraltar. And I am so proud of him. I am so proud of him. He's become a baker. And who would have thought? This is a guy who ran a different kind of business, right?
Yes.
Like big motorbikes, And here, there was his profession. Who would have thought? He started baking cakes and he'd take much love to get distracted that he became so good at it. You know, it's quite amazing. And every birthday I have, he makes my cake there in Gibraltar. And still today, even though he doesn't come because he's too busy now. But he's, you know, he's told his story. He took the teacher training as well. You know, and teacher training, he was still into panic mode. I remember he called me a day before, come to the exam, come to the exam, come to the exam. I said, you better do it or you're never coming to see me again. Full stop. I said, because your biggest problem in your life is what? It's not the exams. I don't care if people fail. It's facing your fear. Do this, even if you fail, you've passed. Don't come and you've already failed. So next morning he came with a pale face. I said, you've passed, even before the exam. I said, but I'm making an exception for you. Everybody else you have to really pass, you know. You've passed. And he did, anyway, he did quite well. He shocked himself. You see, the fear is worse, yeah? Isn't it? The fear is worse. When you actually do it, it's easy. I'm so proud of what he's done. And just by baking cakes. Baking cakes was his healing. Who would have thought? I would have never guessed. You know, after 7 years, and it took years to develop, and he didn't even try. He didn't even try. His cakes were so good that he just got orders. And what was he doing for those 7 years with me? Purifying his mind. Forgiving, letting go, forgiving his ex-wife for leaving him at the worst time of his life. You know, forgiving through the divorce, all the shouting. I said, you are a yoga student. Do you want to be sick again? You do not swear. You do not shout. If she goes mad, you close the phone. If you are so gentle with the judge, and you just tell the judge, because you want to take him for every single penny you got, and you tell the judge, okay, then the government has to look after me because I have no money to get my own home, my own food. So she'll have to look after everything for herself, and I have nothing. So the judge was so fair in the end. Everything was done really nicely because he was just truthful, and no shouting. And of course, when they got there and the judge took his side, she went manic. She went crazy. And the judge, again, I made the right decision now. I'm not even going to overturn it. No appeal. Do you see? When you work for good, people can see. I said, don't be greedy. You must look after her too. You must. That is your duty. But what she's trying to do is take everything off you. That is also wrong. But how do you fight? Get content first. If you are not content, you will go there and you'll start shouting. So every day he did this visualization of blessing her. She didn't know how much he blessed her. Every day he would bless her, bless her. I said, no other thought. Same thing I told my master, make me a hypocrite when you don't like somebody and you bless them. I said, just do it, be a hypocrite, but just bless her. After a while, it became a habit. You know, it became a habit. Didn't even bother about blessing her. Now he's got the most beautiful woman who's absolutely wonderful, really a diamond. And when you see the chain of events, you realize that when you work for good, the gods really shower you with the results. I mean, where did he find such a nice girl? She really is a good girl, you know? And I feel so happy to see them together, huh? Really a good girl. And she understands when he sometimes has his occasional down, because it's so deep in his system. And he knows how to get himself up now because he's got the tools. He says, I have the tools. So, you know, when you work for the spiritual growth, and the spiritual growth is really being content with what you have, good or bad. Good or bad. It doesn't mean just because it's bad you can't be content. Esther told us of her story about the difficulties with her ex-husband. And they had lots of problems. The moment he got sick, what did she do? Swallow all the anger, forgave him totally, and looked after him through her operation, drove him back and forth. I mean, I go, this girl is a saint. And now she's met somebody very nice. So life is kind. Do you see? One, you make some sacrifices in forgiveness, and then a diamond comes in your life. It does happen. You never know when to expect it. It just comes. You just stick to doing your work well, being good, and it does take time. Please, everybody, you know this. It's hard. It's hard, especially. I've been very lucky. I've had a very blessed childhood as a young girl, so my foundations are strong. But to build a foundation takes time, and that's what you were doing. And even if you've had a not such a good childhood, it'll just take you a little longer. Not much. Look at Steve, how well he's doing. So it doesn't matter. Look at Monica, how well she's doing. You know, this girl was locked in the cupboard for hours sometimes. What she gone through. You know people's stories and you hear that and you go, they've done it. They've done it and they've come out of it and they've made a success of their life, you know. And so it's possible. So don't stay drowned. Get up. Get over it. Get over it. You deserve better. And the practice of contentment. Things are not going right now. Just let me be content with what I do have. And like I said, go to the basics. Go to the basics. Look outside. Oh, it's beautiful to see the rain. Oh, it's really, do you know what? It's really nice. I can just make myself a delicious hot cup of coffee or tea. You know, this makes me very happy in the morning. I don't know about you. Get my nice cup of coffee. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. You know, you could give me $1 million and it wouldn't be as delicious as that one cup of coffee that makes you so happy. It's odd that, isn't it? Because there's no ties to it. You enjoy it so purely. There's no wanting, no this, no that. You have it and it's done. You don't want any more. It's done. There's no, I need a second cup, I need a... No, it's one delicious cup and that's it. If it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh, you're in trouble now. Now it's an addiction and you're back into unhappiness. Get it? Anything that makes you an addict makes you unhappy. Anything you can have in moderation, you enjoy. And this is the yogic science. Buddha says, what did he say? Balance. High highs bring balance. Low lows. So if your character is to get very high, when you get excited, watch it. Watch it out, be careful. Say, okay, this too shall pass. Not only bad things pass, very good things pass too. But high highs bring low lows. So when you see yourself getting overexcited, also don't get overexcited. Not good for you. Not good for you. Stay calm. It's a great thing happening to me. Let me stay really calm, focused. Because the energy of high highs swing things the other way. You attract also negative energy to it. Just as bad energy attracts, super high energy attracts the opposite. Then you get euphoria, and then things don't work out. You feel so horrible, so horrible. So always learn to bring yourself back to balance. Doesn't mean you don't enjoy life. It means you really do. And I often tell this story. I used to be in the fashion business for many, many years, and I used to do lots of choreography. And the last one we did, big show we did, was Credit Suisse sponsored us, and it was in El Zaglieta, right, in Khashoggi's old home. And it was the fashion show of my life, and you know, after that fashion show I was invited to Paris to choreograph. Anyway, by the by, not important stuff. It should have been the best moment of my life. But I'd been practicing yoga. This is before I was teaching for 5 years already. And of course, the show was brilliant, we got great success, we sold all our clothes, Credit Suisse was very happy with us. And I remember leaving, and I said to myself, why am I not so excited? Why am I not even bothered about all this? I just wanted the show to go well and went well, finish. All the models were euphoric, really happy, you know. And then I called my master the next day. I said, Gurudev, I don't know what's happening to me. He goes, why? I said, I wasn't even excited. Am I going to end up really boring? Am I going to really find life so boring? And he laughed and he said, Nalanie, it's a new feeling. It's a new feeling of peace that you're not used to it. In 6 months, you will love it. And that's exactly what happened in 6 months. And of course, I said no to Paris because I didn't want to leave my husband and my children. What was I going to do? Go into that world to get into a mess again? I just found my peace. Why would I want that? You know, they promised me all kind. No, thank you. I'm quite happy and content here in my home. I'm just learning to deal with life. Don't send me away, you know, somewhere where it can go mad again. I don't need that. Done it, won the t-shirt. Don't need to do it again. Of course, I didn't realize that there was because I was quiet, there was a bigger plan being in action for me, which is really to do this. I didn't know it does come back. I've seen it again. It may take years. It may take years of sorrow, may take years of, you know, going through all the junk. But it's when you stay content and when you stay quiet that you allow I was starting to say, see, it's like this. The rules are cause and effect, right? The law of karma. As you sow, you reap. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Correct? This is the law. This is the law of the world. This is the law of the universe. Throw a boomerang and it'll come right back at you. So, it's like this. When you start to practice the spiritual science, which is try not to cause pain, try to maintain, just keep yourself pure, just keep yourself peaceful, and that's work, that's really hard work. You just practice that. What happens? While you're doing that, keeping yourself peaceful, there's less of this going out there. Blaming and punching and hitting and being angry. Because when you're angry, you cause pain to everybody around you. Not only to the person you're angry with, but everybody that surrounds you, right? When you say something horrible, you hurt everybody, including yourself. You hurt yourself more because you don't like yourself. So this becomes quite quiet on the receiving front, right? So when you're doing your spiritual learning. So what happens? A lot of things that would happen to you on a physical level will stop happening. Instead, they'll be quiet. So this is when they say God's plan is perfect and that we do have free choice. We have the free choice to follow this God's plan or life's plan or spirit's plan, or the free choice to follow our desires, needs, wants. And wants and desires are not wrong at all. But many people do not know how to control them. The desires and needs control them. See the difference? You can have anything you want. Who said that? You can have anything you want. You just have to ask, you get it. When you don't have to have it. When you have to have it, that's when you really have problems. Because you get angry when you don't. So what happens? So when you practice the spiritual science, the cause and effect is less. The mind will have less clutter in it. Less things in it, because when it's peaceful, it's less stuff. Then the perfect plan for you will appear by itself. Like this guy who just worked at looking at himself, and out of nowhere came the baking of the cake, to 1 cake, to 100 cakes, to supplying everybody. Out of nowhere. But he had to stay still. He had to stay where he was. Couldn't do anything else anyway. He was, too many panic attacks, so he had to stay where he was and work with the spiritual science. He just had to. He had nothing else to do. And he did. Every day he meditated. Every day he meditated. And every week he would come to me. He's the only patient that I have ever for 7 years, because I could see the diamond in the soul. And every week he said, "No, it's hard." And I said, You have to do it. Stop the nonsense. Do it. And it was the same thing you would hear every week, you know. But it must be somewhere in my past. I said, no point going back. We've already done that. I'm not going back. Let's go forward. And then by itself, when he started to just accept my illness, accept who I am, accept this is where I am, accept that there are days that I'm just going to be so exhausted because of all the chemicals in my body, I can't do a thing. Accept it all. When he did that, then the better plan came for him. To his surprise and to my surprise and to all we get surprised. It's really nice. So surprising, all these things. And that's when you say, God's plan is perfect. And I remember the day he said, oh, no, God's plan was perfect. My illness was perfect. This was perfect. I had to grow spiritually for this to happen, for me to meet this person, for this. Because if I didn't, I'd still be caught in the anger game. And frustrated in my body. He said, probably had committed suicide. Do you see? That's where the choice is yours. To take the high road. My father would say, take the high road or take the low road. But if you take the high road, you can sing. He always said that. And this is our choice. So the practice of contentment helps you to have that still mind. To be able to be balanced. So in the beginning, you just practice being happy with everything, even the things that you don't like doing. First thing, it's easy to be content with the things you like to do in your life. Now what about all those things you have to do that you don't like to do? Learn to be content. I have to do it anyway. It's my duty. It's my duty. I have to do it. It's my duty. I don't want to do it. So what do you have to do? Learn to love it. Learn to be at least content. It's my duty. I have to do it anyway. Let me be content in it. I may not like it, but I'll be content in it. How do you become content? Accept. This is what I have to do. And ask for help. Lord Jesus said, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. So ask. That's what you do. Ask. Ask for help. Ask for signs. I did all the time. God, help me. I can't do it myself. You know. Always got help. I always got help. In a book, in a person. And all of you have seen this on TV. Don't think that, what did I tell you in the beginning? God is everywhere, right? To the left, to the right, to the south, to the north. You know. What you hear, what's being said. And ask a question, oh, I really want to know this, I really want to know this. Turn on the TV, documentary goes on. I really want to know more scientifically how science has progressed with explaining spirit. God sends me, Ole, Nalanie, there's a lovely documentary on the black hole. It's really interesting that explains quantum physics and atomic power and how it goes deeper. Great, watch this DVD twice. Oh, science is growing, the world is growing. I walk into my office, somebody hands me a book on quantum physics. Me read quantum physics? Never, in a million years. But it just comes because I had the question. Because obviously sometimes in my work I meet people of high caliber, they know about science but they don't know about spirit. So when I tell them that spirit is really, and science are now marrying, then they open their ears and then they listen. So you see, whatever information you need throughout your life, if you are doing it for the benefit of mankind, yourself included, you're mankind. Whatever you need to serve it will be given to you. You don't even have to ask for it. And that's why in the Bible it says, seek God in all its righteousness first, and everything else will be added to you. God, peace, contentment. Simply in the Psalms, be still and know that I am God. Isn't it simply said? But you have to be still. Contentment makes you still. Because when you have contentment, what happens?
Supreme.
Supreme joy is gained. Now everybody do it with me because you will really feel it. If you feel it, you will practice it. If you don't feel it, you won't practice it. That's why inspiration in life is so important. Inspire yourself. Go in front of the mirror and say, by the practice of contentment, supreme joy is gained. Just feel it. Feel the energy. Energy moves, right? Stagnant energy, stagnant water creates mosquitoes, right? Move the water, you get no mosquitoes. Same, we have water in our body. We have 70 to 75% of water in our body. This is one of the tools we've been given. So we use water. That's why I say when you get really depressed, go have a shower. The water cleans up all that energy, that yucky energy in you. Have a nice long bath if you have time for it. I used to do it in my early days. Every day I had a bath. Every single day. My husband goes, how do you have a shower? No, I need a bath. It takes so long, but I need it. I need it. I have to have it. Now I take showers. You know, you grow. You grow. But I knew I needed that to take all those things away. Know yourself. What do you need to do to take all those things away from you? You can do physical things. And next week we're going to be speaking of pranayama. We're going to spend an hour doing breathing techniques on how to calm the mind.
We'll do it week after next time in London or next week.
Oh, so should we do that the week after
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm coming back on 2nd. I'm leaving it then.
So, yeah, so the week after then, because I promised that we do pranayama, is another way, breathing, but we will do something now. I'd like to do some meditations on contentment. First, I'd like to do a meditation on forgiveness, all right? And then we will do a meditation on close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Exhale. Please take another slow, deep breath. And exhale slowly. Take your time. Just imagine beautiful waterfall over your head, cleansing all the tension from the back of your shoulders, the back of your neck. You can move your neck from side to side if you want, taking off the tension. Feel the water going through your entire body, all the way to your feet. And sigh. Let go of it all. Take a slow, deep breath and imagine a beautiful white light surrounding your entire body. It's so beautiful. Feel it. Feel the warmth. Back of your shoulders. Imagine all these rays coming from your heart outwards. Your heart being the center flame, and the rays coming out of the center flame outwards and protecting you. Now go into the flame. Bring these rays into the flame, into your heart. Deeper, deeper, deeper. See yourself as you are dressed today inside that flame. See yourself clearly. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your body, your personality. Look at you. Cover yourself in light. Cover yourself in light. Take a deep breath. It's time now to dig deep into all the pain and suffering that was caused, or you felt was caused to you. Bring it there and cover it with this love and light. Say, I need to do this to set myself free. I love my freedom. I love my peace. It's more important than holding on to this. I must do this. See that person or the situation that's caused you this deep-rooted pain that's so deep in your soul, and cover that person with light, blinding light, blinding light. See yourself smiling as you're doing it. See a smile. You can even put a smile on your face while you're doing it to make it real in your mind. Because as you think, it becomes. And cover this person in light. Cover it. And say, you know what? I really need to let you go now. Thank you for teaching me great lessons about myself. Thank you for helping me to see my weaknesses. Without you, I would not have been able to see my weaknesses or my strengths. Now that job is over. You've done it well. I've learned the meaning of pain, and now I need to learn the meaning of forgiveness. So you can leave my life. Bless you. And watch that pain, that person, that situation walking away. And as it walks away, you look at it and you say, you know what? I'm also sorry if I caused you pain. I'm sorry I caused you pain. Watch them go and watch yourself smile, turning away. And see a new beginning. See yourself laughing at yourself. Oh, you feel so light, the burden's done. Why didn't I do this years ago? And every day I'm going to forgive you so I can be free. And see yourself really feel that energy of joy. And feel this golden light helping you, lifting you. It is lifting you. It is you. It is part of you. It is with you. It's what they call the divine spark within. Feel it lifting you. And now, sit quiet with yourself. Sit quiet just for a minute to enjoy the letting go and just being. imagine leaving this room. Oh, by the way, on the way out, wish everybody well. You walk through the door. You bless the road that you walk on. You get into your car. Bless the car that you have to come here and to help you get everywhere you want to. You sit in your car and you smile. Wonderful to be able to drive. Freedom. You go home. Before you enter your front door, think how grateful you are, how content you are to have a home, a home. When you open that front door, bow down, touch the floor, and bless your home. Sorry, I have never appreciated you enough, small or big. At least I have a place to sleep. Thank you for guarding me. And feel pleased. Walk into your home, close the door. If there are any negative energies in it, stand by the door and close your eyes and see these rays of light blessing your home. And ask, bless my home. May it be a place of peace and tranquility. May it be a place that people walk in and are so joyous to be here. Bless me in the home that I may be always content and always grateful. And then you walk in and you fill your home with this feeling of contentment and joy. And you smell the food and you have your dinner and you're grateful for the plate of food and you're grateful for whoever's in your life. Tell them you love them. Tell them you care. Tell them you miss them. But tell them before it's too late. And if you're alone in your home, just be so grateful the private time you have to learn all these great truths and practice them on your own as you make your own dinner. See the leaves of the salad and the food and how everything sacrificed itself to keep you healthy and happy. Just be grateful and content and enjoy it. And if you want to sit down and watch a film, enjoy that too. Just be content with everything. See yourself as you are dressed today. Say, I am content. Repeat it in your mind. I am content. Every day I'm getting stronger and stronger. Say it in your mind. Every day I am more loving. And as I'm more loving, the world is more loving towards me. I deserve to be happy. Others deserve to be happy. Everyone deserves to be happy. And if I am happy and content, my family will be happy and content. This is the duty I have to do in this life. It is my duty. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, feel a really good feeling in your heart. Smile and wish everyone well. Wish everyone well. Good and bad. Wish them all well. Wish yourself well. Wish yourself good strength. Ask. Bless me that I can think good thoughts. Bless me that I can uplift myself. Bless me that I can do right deeds. Bless me that all my actions can be really holy and kind. Bless me that I don't just get self-involved every day, just me, me, me. Bless me. Be content for all the challenges you have in life. Without them, you would certainly be bored. Stay quiet. It's a very good time to send healing. So please, if you need healing, send it to yourself. And if you know anybody who's really going through a tough time, please send them love and prayers. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all the darkness that lives in our minds.
Victory to that light.
Jai Shri Satguru Satchidananda Ji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Jai. Thank you all very much. You did that for 17 minutes. Did it feel that long? The mind is focused, the time goes quick. It goes quick. When the mind is focused, it goes very quick. If you bring these thoughts as you think, get it? It's really that simple. So every time the mind's da 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 da, bring it back. Content, content. It's hard work. Because here is easy. It's easy because here everybody's thinking such lovely thoughts. Really, your energy is so full of love. So it's easy in this atmosphere. It's safe. You not feel threatened. So you can do it easily. So you practice in this atmosphere. And as you get strong, you'll find it easy even in the bad atmospheres. So when you walk into a room with bad atmosphere, you fill it with light. That's the idea. You don't let it conquer you. You conquer
Very
it.
much for staying a little bit longer to listen to the talk. Before I start explaining what my talk is about today, I want to ask you a question again. Because last time I asked a question, this time I'm going to ask a question again. Did you ever lie? Please raise your hand. Okay. How did it make you feel? Can anyone answer this?
Horrible.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear, exactly. It makes you feel bad. Now, the last question. Did you ever lie more than once in your life? Please raise your hand again. Exactly. What I want to point out is, you are making up a lie. You need another lie to cover the first lie. And then you need a bigger lie to cover up the first two lies. So it is a lie after lie, and your life becomes a lie. It is the law of cause and effect, where Nalanie talked about. Action, reaction. And the fact that you're feeling bad means it is not your true nature. What brings me to the sutra of today. I'm going to talk about satya, truthfulness. And it is in Sutra 36, book number 2, and it says, one established in truthfulness, actions and their results become subservient. What does that mean? It means when you're truthful to others and to yourself, then everything starts to happen around you. You don't need to run after something. Something is going to run after you. The truth. And I'm going to explain it by using a certain logic with 3 facts. Fact number 1. Sri Swami Satyanandi says, truth is one, paths are many. So truth is one. If we want a peaceful life, a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, then we need to steady the mind. That's the truth. Truth is one. But for example, I obtain it by doing hatha yoga, by coming here, for example, or by doing meditation. My husband, on the other hand, he goes to the gym and he sits for hours after his computer looking at a black and white picture he took, and he makes it a piece of art, and it calms him down. So here you have the way to get to the truth is for everyone different. So, truth is one, paths are many. Fact number 2. Lots of people say, yes, but my truth is not your truth, and your truth is not my truth. What is then the ultimate truth? Well, if I want to explain this to you, I need to first explain something different. How difficult it is to tell the ultimate truth. Because you are this little soul, a beautiful soul, not a little one, a real big one, or you can call it a spirit or whatever. And it comes here down on earth to have a human experience. But you are like this tiny little piece of a really big piece. That means you're just this little ant, and there's a world of universes and universes and universes. So, if you want to speak the truth, and you're coming exactly with a mind and a body as well, so you need to transcend your mind and your body to speak the ultimate truth. What I want to say is that when you're talking and you're coming from this pure, true place in your heart, without any anger, without any fear, without any disappointment, then your truth will be recognized by the others as well as their truth. And then you're speaking the ultimate truth. Let's take an example. For example, the Gibraltar case. You have the English part and you have the Spanish part. They're only giving an opinion driven by their mind, by their ego and by their desires. Because if they would come from this pure place, there wouldn't be an issue in the first place. So that is what I want to say. If you speak this ultimate truth, you just come from this pure place and you're transcending your mind. Then you're speaking this ultimate truth. Now, to end fact number 3, I believe this truthfulness is connected to a sutra. It's sutra number 3 in book 1 that says, once you have calmed, steadied your mind, then the seer, what I talked about, the soul or the big spirit that you are, abides in its own true nature. Now, Sri Swami Satyanandi says, what is your true nature? Satchidananda. That means truth, knowledge, bliss, absolute. So you are that truth. And when you start living it, everything happens around you. And I'm going to give you just a little example. When I came here for the first time in April, I was sitting there in the back and I was thinking, oh my God, I would love to have a center like this and inspire people. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting there and Nalanie says, I'm going to Africa. Would someone wants to come and talk here? And there's this lady sitting next to me, Giselle, and she says, listen, Vanessa, you could maybe do the talk. I'm thinking, me doing the talk? Yes, you can do it. Maybe you could come and give the talk. And she puts up her hand and she says, this lady here wants to give a talk. And I'm like, yes. And Nalanie says, oh, great, you're going to give a talk. And what are you going to talk about? I'm thinking, yes, what do I need to say? I talked about the mind-heart connection, but what I want to say is that when you are living, because you are the truth, and things start to happen around you without you doing any effort, because you are this truth. So to wrap up this sutra, I just want to tell you that when you are thinking and you're speaking from this place, from this truth place in your heart, then everything where the soul has come for to do in this earth will be realized, because you are that ultimate truth.
Thank you.